Wow, yeah.
If you ever want to walk around, this is...
That's amazing. Oh my God, let's go. This is legit.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you want to change audio level, point to me, I can change it. Let's see who I have going on. Because I have... Yep, okay. Yeah, I have you, and I have something with Sapphire and Ruby later.
Sweet
So
deal.
we'll be bouncing back and forth. And then once you finish at 12:45, I'll make sure that everything's all right with you.
Is there somebody at 1?
There is someone at 1.
Okay,
yes.
cool. I'll make sure to pack up pretty fast then.
Don't rush yourself.
Yeah.
And
But like I'll like try to make sure I don't go over, I guess.
yeah,
That's what I'm trying to say.
if you get too close to 45, I can always raise the timer up, saying like, oh, we have like 5 minutes left.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Woo! my god, it's the skipping part.
Hoverboarding champion.
Yeah. Maybe one day I'll like.
What's up?
Maybe one day I'll like have somebody else on this panel. Is it really a panel of just one? Panel of one.
To get my crazy taxi score higher up on the leaderboards.
I suck at Crazy Taxi apparently. I could not get over 6,000 yesterday.
Dude, I'm looking for a cab. I've been like over 100K right now.
100,000?
Yeah.
Score? In Crazy Taxi?
Dude, it takes me an hour and a half to do it.
100,000? I'd love to see that. I couldn't, like, the highest thing I've ever gotten in my life is like 13 or 15. Oh my god, one more minute.
1 more minute.
Too many games, too many games, too many games. What up? Woo! Good morning, happy Saturday. Welcome to Speedrunning the Panel. Is it really a panel of just one? Who cares? I said it was anyway. I'm Bregermann. This is Speedrunning the Panel. Who am I? I am a speedrunner. I started speedrunning in 2017. This panel is all about speedrunning. It's all about making games go fast and breaking them in half. And is this mic good? Is this mic good? And it's just, it is a love that I've found that I'm so thrilled to share with you all. This is the 6th time that I've gotten to do this panel. The fact that 6 different people have said, yes, you can do this, I'm humbled and honored. Here are some of my personal bests from over the years. This one in the corner, this is recent. That just happened last week. Playing Crash Bandicoot Warped. I've done video games my whole life. Video games are a huge part of who I am. The characters, everything that's embraced in them has shaped who I am. And yeah, what is a speedrun? A speedrun is a playthrough of a video game performed with the intention of completing it as fast as possible. Speedruns may cover a whole game or select a part such as a single level. On the left was at the end of something called the Sprash League, which happens 1 to 2 times a year. It's a max completion marathon of the original Spyro and Crash trilogies. I did it in 18 hours, which is kind of slow, but I was just happy to have finished, to be honest with you. Crash Bandicoot's a hard game. Why speedrun? Well, that's a good question. For me, and also if at any point anybody has like questions or comments or anything, that mic's on. So you can also make loud noises too, which is crazy. Speedrunning, to me, combines like all of those competitive juices you get from like sports or competition or tournaments or any of that, but it makes it more of a solo. I mean, there are co-op speedruns, obviously. Any game can be speedrun, but it adds all of those competitive emotions and juices and just wonderful, like all those brain endorphins, and it just combines them all into this amazing, incredible hobby that some people are turning into like a career. There are full-time speedrunners who get on Twitch or Kick now or YouTube and they just speedrun 8 hours a day, and that's how they make a living, and that's a beautiful way to make a living, I'd say. I have some quotes from people in the community. One Count Gooby, who's a cool guy, says, "I speedrun because it gives me a way to play through games in a new way and get better at them, while being together with friends and supporting charity." and one named Lucas says he is one of the coolest guys. I would say community. The way people go out of their way to help new people learn and stuff like that. That's personally what I love about Speedrunner the most. That's a sentence, I think. Just say that out loud. It's like, that's personally what I love about Speedrunner the most. For me, yeah, like just like all the people it brings together over like such specialized niche things. Like I've been like 100 Discord servers. At least half of them are some speed game, whether it's Spyro or my first love, Jersey Devil, which you can see. Yeah, there I was. Bam. Jersey Devil is my favorite game of all time. Speedrunning in your health. This is a good slide. I think this is one of those slides that like it's less exciting. It's not flashy. It's not quite so flashy, but I think it's important to keep in mind. Lots of speedrunners I know have like developed like wrist and hand problems. Gunner Maniac in particular, I remember seeing him talk about that. But like, be aware of the pain in your wrists, hands, eyes. Take breaks, stretch, and then you'll be able to play longer and harder because you'll have theoretically you'll have less pain, but results may vary. The better you preserve your body, the more years you'll be able to stand up to the rigors of intense focus and often plentiful inputs. Speedrunning is such an intense thing, especially depending on what game you're playing. A lot of times the movement involves a lot of just like jamming your thumb around and wiggling between all the D-pad buttons and doing all kinds of crazy things with the controller that developers probably never even thought of. They're probably like, oh, sure, I guess you could wiggle and go out of bounds and break my game in half. That's totally fine. Take note of your posture. That's something I've struggled with over the years. I like hunch over. I have such a hunchback now, it's pretty bad. But like straight up. I personally over the years have used chiropractic and massage to help with this. And I recently got a hot tub and put it in my apartment. And mental health. If you're like in a bad state, if you're like angry and everything's tilted you, it's probably going to be a bad experience when you play. Most likely. At least for me personally. Like when I'm having a good day and I'm like happy and I'm jovial, I usually play better. How to get started. It's super easy. Literally all you need is a computer. Technically no, like you need a computer if you're going to be streaming it. But if you just want to speedrun, you just need whatever game console of your choice. If you don't have the console or the game, emulators exist. And those are super free and easy to find, but obviously I won't be sharing links here. OBS is a godsend. I absolutely love OBS. Let's take a look at OBS. Like it's so simple. Like there it is. Bam. Here's you just plop on with a couple things. And later we're gonna do a speed run together. At the end of this panel, we are all going to be speedrunners. If you're not already, you will be a speedrunner by the end of this panel, so buckle up, buckaroo. And then yeah, depending on how fancy you want to be, if you want to do it from a console, get a capture card. AV ones are pretty cheap nowadays. I see a hand.
So I have a question regarding you play on pre-HD consoles. I noticed that you play the original Spyro Crash Trilogy. How do you get the video signal to both the capture device for the stream as well as to a CRT? Because as I understand it, those are almost essential for input.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. I could not imagine playing on a non-CRT for those games. So actually for that, my setup consists of, actually it's funny I put these, so like I literally have one of those capture cards at the top. It's like $10 on Amazon. And then you need like a splitter, like an AV splitters. So like you need an AV splitter on each of the ports, which then you just get an additional AV cable, and then you put one of the AV cables to the TV, and then one into the capture card. You put the capture card in your computer, And most of them are plug and play these days. You just plug it in your computer, OBS usually picks it up. Mine, honestly, mine was kind of cheap and awful in the way that, like, if I like slightly like move it a little bit, it'll just stop working in the middle of a run. I've lost time in runs because my capture card stopped working. Actually, my personal best for Rugrats Search for Reptar all levels, my capture card strip died. So I like turned my webcam on and it's just me like playing and like just pointing at my TV for the last like 10 minutes of the run. Yeah, absolutely. And then, you know, I mean, this is like the sort of, and then like HD stuff, like those capture cards, like back when I started like streaming in general, like circa 2014 or so, I got like an HD PVR 2 gaming edition. It was like $150. Now you can get HD capture cards for like 20, 30, 40 bucks. Like all those generic ones on like Amazon or wherever, they do the job. I mean, and then yeah, with that, like you just need a splitter. And like the HDMI splitters are usually like $10, $15, $20, depending on how fancy you want it to be. And then, yeah, you know, PC games you just do straight on OBS. And then 3DS, 3DS capture cards are bloody expensive. I actually bought one from Delfino Customs, which is a super awesome guy based in like Europe, I think. A few years ago, he like made controllers and sent them to me. Amazing controllers. Delfino Customs. If you want a 3DS capture card, you have the coin. I got a new 3DS one. I think I spent like $700 on it. Probably my biggest speedrunning expense. I was like, I want it, I need it. It's like, you know, 3DS games, like I'm pointing a camera at the 3DS, the screen quality is terrible. And then also mics. Like, I mean, decent mics are pretty. I mean, most mics are pretty decent these days. And chairs. I will say, back when I started, I like kept trying to get like those cheap, like $200, $100 chairs from like the internet, and like they would just break down and just be so sore and miserable. Generally speaking, it's just a general rule. If it's between you and the ground, invest in it. Whether it's shoes, bed, chair, just for general ergonomic health. But I mean, alternatively, you could just like sit on like a wood chair from, yeah, I mean, or you could stand, I guess, too. Or you could lay, or you could, you could suspend yourself upside down and speedrun if you wanted to. You could blind, no. But yeah, yeah, I mean. Actually, I mean, there are people that do speedruns blindfold. I've seen like some Super Mario 64 blindfolded speedruns. That's bloody impressive. Like, to not be able to see and like to not only memorize inputs, but like to navigate a moving world and somehow beat it. Not only beat it, but beat it fast. Like, what? Another thing that like people would consider asking when they want to start speedrunning, what should I play? You know, a lot of people that I've seen are like, oh, well, just go play some popular game. Go play Super Mario Odyssey or Legend of Zelda or whatever. But personally, just whatever games you love and enjoy the most. What is that? Fur Fighters? That looks awesome. I've never seen that game before, but I'm excited now. What? Yes. I love Ratchet and Clank. Wow. Wow. See, I just learned about a game that I didn't know existed. That's amazing. I love Ratchet and Clank. I do need to play Donkey Kong 64. But I picked Jersey Devil because for me personally, that's like my favorite game of all time. That's the game that I fondly remember being 5 years old with chicken pox, playing it all week, not being able to get past certain parts. And like that's one that like I sort of came back to like every year or two and just played through. But then eventually that gets kind of old because like you're like, all right, beat it. But then like when you go through a game you love and you beat it quickly, you become entranced with it, and there's just so many like emotions that come along with just like doing, and then like you do a run, you're like, oh well, I died for 10 minutes in that section, I can do that better. But yeah, so that on the right was my first world record back August 2017. So Jersey Devil any percent is now a 5-minute category. There was a skip found called Bridge Skip, where you just like go and there's a bridge, you can jump over like this gap, and you just skip the entire game except for the final boss. So that's now Jersey Devil all tokens. And that time, world record-wise, is down about 40 minutes from there. But yeah, like, the key is pick what you love. And I took Jersey Devil speedrun, I was like, man, I want to speedrun everything. So I moved to Rugrats Search for Reptar. Amazing PlayStation 1 game. Absolutely love it. It's actually a super fun speed game. It's short, it's very movement heavy. How to get good. This is another one. How do you get good? Woo. I just like this chair. I'm just rolling around. How do you get good? First thing you do, I mean, like, you can do it in any number of ways, but this is how I do it. Because I hate practice. We're talking about practice, not the game. Not interested in practice. I like the game, not practice. So I'll just do a blind run. That's where you just like turn it on, you beat it, you don't look up strats, you just play through the game. And then, because like, what I find personally is when I go to speedrun a game, if I try to like watch a run, but I haven't beat the game recently, none of it's going to make sense. It's all just going to be like, sure, that's an area with a thing and a place, but I find that if I beat it recently, that I'll be able to like go in and like recognize what's what and who's where and what time is yesterday. And then with speedrunning, the second run is always so rewarding. Like I always beat my first run massively. It's the first run, you know, like just completing it is the goal. And then you're like, okay, I can do this faster, and I won't die 100 times at this level. The first time I ever beat Crash Bandicoot 100% was in Sprash League like 3 or 4 years ago, and it took me 8 hours. And I did so at the end of Sprash League, and I think my total runtime was like 28 hours. It was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. But I'm so glad I did it. I will forever cherish that night, that memory. My thumb was like so, like just absolutely obliterated, purple and calloused, and oh my god, I wouldn't trade it up. I love it. And then practice, and then like once you've done a few runs, like once you like have the idea of the route, then like I find it that's when I find practice to be handy to go in and practice specific sections. It's like every speedrun has like levels that are free or are easy, and that like, you know, like they're pretty brain dead. Like the first 2 warps in Crash 3 for me now, pretty brain dead. I can do them in my sleep. I don't need to run through them to practice hot cocoa. And then from there, like just keep like theory crafting. Like there's so many people in these communities that like are always looking for new routes, that are always like finding new skips. Like 20-year-old games like Spyro the Dragon, for instance. The first dragon in the game, Nestor, has a 20-second unskippable cutscene. Recently, there was a skip found for that. So, like, it's amazing to watch all of the growth over the years. I don't know why I put this in here. I'm really proud of this world record for Blues Big Musical for the Sony PlayStation. That was a fun night of grinding. I love memes. Memes are one of my favorite categories of speedrun. Yeah. Oh yeah, go to the mic, yeah. I love memes. You're Stump? Hi, Stump!
Hi. So, I actually watched a speedrun of Portal because that was like, Portal was my favorite game of all time. And I found one for like someone who sped running for 5 minutes, or 5.5 minutes. speedruns. And it's like, I'm wondering, how do I get from 3 hours? Because usually with Portal, when I beat the game, I beat it in 3 hours.
Yeah.
So I was just like, how do I get from there to here to 5 minutes?
Usually with speedruns that are like that extreme, where like it casually is a few hours and the speedrun's a few minutes, usually there's some massive skip involved that skips 90% of the game. Usually, in most cases. I haven't actually watched a Portal speedrun. I should though. So yeah, like with that, like I would just watch the speedrun. And then also like Portal's a pretty big speed game, so like I'm sure if you go in their Discord server and you like ask like, hey, how do you do all these tricks? Most speedrunners are super into what they do and love to share with others what they do and how they do what they do and all of that. Like seriously, the communities for these games are absolutely amazing. Some of the most beautiful, amazing people I've ever met in my entire life. And like, we're all over the world. Like, but yeah, no, like yeah, that's yeah. Like I would watch the run and then ask the community, hey, how do you do this?
Yeah, awesome, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah, if anybody has any questions or comments or anything, the mic's there, which is bananas. I love it. Oh boy.
So, as somebody else who plays PS1 games, with the way that optical media tends to get kind of janky, do you think that people going forward are going to start needing devices like the X Station or other optical drive emulators to replace aging hardware, or is that going to like mess with the speedrun timings too much?
Personally, I think at this point there's still enough PlayStations to where that really isn't something that I would be concerned with yet. And also, like, a lot of people are really talented, like, fixing them somehow, some sort of voodoo magic. I personally own at least 4 PlayStation 2s just in case for such a reality. But yeah, I mean, like, as far as that, like, generally most communities will err on the side of, like, as long as it's not faster than official hardware, it's allowed usually. Although, like there's definitely edge cases for, like for instance, Bregermann Studio Tour has an emulator exclusive manipulation for RNG at the end of the game. So, like, most games are on a case-by-case basis, but, yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. What's this next slide? Routing. Routing is such an important thing. Honestly, it's one of the most fun, critical thinking things in a speedrun. I'd also like to recommend taking initiative to search games instead of learning solely based on what's already been done. A lot of people are just copycats without realizing it. They copy around from start to finish without putting the critical thinking in to realize why things are done in the order that they're in. If you can understand why something is routed the way it is, then you can create your own routes, tricks, ideas, and something might come from that. Realizations don't just happen, and the tricks aren't found on accident. There has to be a critical thinking aspect. Games are rerouted all the time. Like, what's a world record route now? Somebody might come along and be like, yeah, well, there's this cool proxy you can do, and you can skip to the end of the level and do it backwards, and it's faster because you skip this animation, you skip this cutscene, you know, like, you don't have to go as far. Like, you know, like sometimes, like, you know, like a speedrun, if there's like a timer for some like mission, you could run around during that timer, collect things, but if you cut it too close, you might fail. So, like, you know, it's like that's where like skill cap really comes in too. Yeah, engaging with communities. This is a screenshot from the 1545, which is one of my favorite events. I absolutely love the 1545. The 1545 is a giant relay race with all of those logos. It's the Super Mario, what's the number, like 602, I guess? So Super Mario 64, Sunshine, Galaxy 1 and Galaxy 2, Crash Bandicoot, Crash 2, Cortex Strikes Back, Crash 3 Warped, Spyro the Dragon, Spyro 2's Rage, Spyro Year of the Dragon, Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, Donkey Kong 64. It happens every year, usually second weekend-ish of July, twitch.tv/MCSN. And like, there's so many amazing things, like so many communities are just growing and putting on amazing things. Like Simpsons Hit Run community puts on an amazing tournament every summer. and like it's super competitive and super brings people together. And there's so many ways to communicate with people. You can just go on Speedrunning.com and use their forums if you want to. Not many people use their forums, but they're there and sometimes they're used. Basically every speed game has a Discord server. Usually it's by series. Twitch, obviously, there's people stream their runs. There's races on Speedruns Live. Racetime.gg is a more modern one, place where people do that. And there's so many tournaments. Like there's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Duels of the Roses tournament I participated in. And now there's speedrun leagues. There's Sprash League now, which is basically what I had envisioned like years ago. I was like, I want speedrunning to be like a racing NASCAR style league, and now there's Sprash League, and it's the 6 original Spyro Crash games, and every week there's a different race, and there's a point system depending on where you finish, and it brings joy to my heart, honestly. And then marathons. Last night I was accepted into License-a-thon, which is in August. I'll be running Rugrats Studio Tour for that. So I have to de-rust that. I haven't really run that in 5 years. Here's some screenshots from some of the marathons I've done. The one on top, they like have this whole aesthetic where they're like, the whole marathon is black and white. And I was like, okay, I'm down. Yeah, so everybody's runs were in black and white. I run for speed stuff for charity, Explode-a-thon, D-Gen Dash, I think was my first one. Because, I'm a degenerate. Sam on a speedrun, how do? Excellent question, Johnny. Here are some ways you can be involved with speedrunning without performing the actual speedruns. You can glitch hunt. If you don't want to speedrun, you don't want to do full game runs, hunt for glitches. Like, take what already exists, develop theories, try to apply it other places. Those people who are speedrunning will love and appreciate you forever. You'll forever be like God tier in their eyes. Watch others and support them. There's so many speedrunners. It's impossible to watch them all at the same time. Anytime I go on Twitch, there's at least 10 or 20 people that I'm following that are live with speedruns. And most of them are at super high levels. Create tools if you have programming chops and you want to, a live split is what we use for timing. If you want to develop some sort of a plugin or some sort of information that can be displayed, or if you just want to run the tech for a marathon or a relay race, that sort of stuff is a pain sometimes. And if you have those abilities and you want to be part of the community, that's an amazing way that you will always be able to get in. And yeah, if you are internet famous yourself but you don't speedrun, shout out some speedrunners, if you're some fancy streamer who doesn't speedrun at all, just rate a speedrunner. Have them on your podcast or advertise them on your TikTok. Whatever the kids do these days. Speedrunning develops skills that will stay with you for the rest of your life. Patience is one. Patience is a big one. When I started speedrunning, I would get so mad at mistakes, and I'd be like, man, I was to run and I didn't get to run because I didn't get to skip. But you got there once, you're going to get there again. You're good at the game. Just do it again, and eventually you'll get everything to line up. Determination. When you are just everything that goes into driving towards a general goal, that all those things apply, whether it's any other thing, a job, a pursuit, anything. Efficient routing. Back when I commuted, I set up splits for my commute, and I speed ran to work. Traffic light RNG is rude. Let me tell you what. And then also just around the house, right? Let's say you have a bunch my water jug. It's pretty huge. I'll turn it on and then I'll run and do 2 other things and I'll come back to it instead of standing waiting by the water jug. So real life time saves. And then like all the community building things. You can take those same things and like apply them to any kind of community. Goal setting, crushing, confidence building. Seriously, when you start a speedrun and you like get to some goal or some plateau or some world record, it will give you some confidence. You will be proud of yourself. I know I am. The pop-offs are real. And also just general life enjoyment. Motivation. Okay. Yeah. I'm driven by unavoidable and nearly permanent dissatisfaction in the idea that it's within my range to be sufficiently excellent. Jeremy Thompson is one of my favorite speedrunners. He's ridiculously good at what he does. What else? Yeah. Like, what was that? Motivation? Yeah. And like sometimes you just don't want to speedrun for a while. Take a break. Go do other stuff. People always come back. Like, it's so funny. Like, Bregermann in Crash 3, he held the 105% world record for 5 years. And I just saw, I've seen him streaming speedruns again, because he wants that world record back. I can guarantee you that. Like, when you're bopped of a world record, you want to get it back. That's a motivator. Like, just to be the best at what you do. And so, competitive speedrunning bingo leagues. Speedrunning.com has racing leagues. There's bingo leagues. It's been a few years, but I participated in the Spyro 2 bingo league, and it was so much fun. It was like such a different way to play a game, because like, so, you know, if you get a standard bingo board like that, and like, you go through the opening cutscene, you talk to your teammate, you're like, hey, let's figure out how to route these things, and it's lockout bingo, so only one team can get each objective. This particular one, me and Secret Humor Man dominated. I'm so proud of us that week. But yeah, and then what else? Yeah, update. My vision, so like I originally made this slide like 4 years ago. And my vision has come true with Sprash League. And I love it. I love it so much. What else? Master tips. Move with conviction. When you are playing a speedrun, I find that when I'm tentative in a trick or a movement or a section, that's usually when I'll die or screw up. When I just like trust my instincts and I just like let my hands take over the controller, I play really well. Usually. Sometimes I suck. It's okay. Mindset is everything. Don't allow things outside your control to cause anger. If you get bad RNG or like a skip that doesn't work all the time, doesn't go your way, it's okay. You'll get them next time, champ. Anger is poison for yourself. Balance is key. Never allow speedrunning to overtake life. It's okay to take days or weeks or months off. Memes! Including Barney, which we're going to be playing today, all of us. This might end up being the biggest Barney 80% speedrun, or 80% no controller co-op speedrun ever. And also, I did this panel before, and Waldo was there. I found Waldo. And then also, there's that guy Ty, years ago, we competed in some memes, and it was so much fun. We like both played these super specific meme games and traded world records back and forth. And here's just like some montage of some of the games I played. Zubamafu, Crash NST, Hot Shots Golf, Elmo's Number Journey, Barbie's Horse Adventure, NASCAR, I speedran a can of Pringles. I still hold a world record in that category. Madden, what else? Bad Guys in School is a fun one. That was back when that was Clubhouse Games in the There's more. All-American Pro Trucker game I hold world record in. Peppa Pig, Mort the Chicken, one of the best games of all time. Mort the Chicken. Purchase it if you haven't yet. Spyro 2, Paralily, which is available on the Nintendo Switch from Luna Wolf Studios. Great company, highly recommend them. Play with the Teletubbies, which I was bopped in recently. And a game called Boom Bots. which is a really fun claymation PlayStation 1 game. Yeah. What else do we got? Boom. I made a list of people that I love and appreciate in the Speedrunning community. I didn't get everybody. I ran out of space. And also communities. And there's some games I moderate. I feel like I invented Madden speedrunning. When I came around, there were no leaderboards for Madden, and now there are lots. And it's so wonderful just to create a leaderboard and watch a community grow. For instance, Cat Lateral Damage had no runs, and then I made a leaderboard, and then somebody got into, like Bullets, I think, got into GDQ one year. And Loved, and Milk inside a bag of milk inside a bag of milk. Journey's end. All journeys come to an end. If you understand the screenshot, bless your soul. I love you all. Let's do a speed run. So here, this is going to be me live. No, my mic off? I don't know. This is going to be me live setting up a speed run. So here's how we do it. We're going to go OBS. We're going to open the emulator. We're going to go File, Open Mega Drive, and also Live Split, okie dokie. So here is Barney's Number Adventure. Let me make sure this is, we're in OBS, good, okay. So timing starts, when does timing start? Timing starts, I want to say, on first movement, or when you gain control. We're going to play through this game, we're not going to do any inputs. And world record is 9 minutes and 9 seconds. Let's see if we can make this happen. Whoa, wait, no, start the timer. No, what? Oh no, wait, let's reset, Let's reset, we have time. This will take us all the way to the end. If anybody has any questions, comments, anything, come on up to the microphone.
Okay, so I got a question in regards to like kind of rebuilding the community.
Yeah.
Because I've run Power like the rescue. There's only like 3 or 4 of us, and there's only 2 people active. So how do you rebuild a community?
That's an interesting one. Rebuilding a community. Like, I'm in a lot of smaller communities too. I find what really brings people back together is like if a new skip is discovered, or somebody bops a world record, if there's some sort of event, or if you just like tell and get new people involved. A lot of times people just like wander through and like do a speed run. Like for instance, the Rugrats Search Reptar community wasn't super active for. Alright, let's start the speed run. Wasn't super active for like a few years, but then like people have been running it, and world record just bopped after 5 years. I think the biggest thing is just to, at least I find, is just to be active myself. Like for instance, when I started speedrunning, I ran Jersey Devil, and like people showed up and said, "Hi, we want to worship you." God, that was so vivacious. And like people showed up, there was a Discord server all of a sudden, and then like other people came out of the woodworks. Like I find that like the more opportunities people have to see your game, like whether it's on Twitch, whether you're posting it on the internet, whether you're sharing with your friends, the more exposure people have to see it. Like it's the same thing with like advertising, right? Like you see advertisements the same thing over and over again. It's ingrained into your mind. There's certain brands that like you will always grow and recognize. So like the more you share like your love and your game with others, the better chances of that are. But yeah, I mean it's hard. Like some games will just be dead for a while, and like other games, like those do like go viral. But yeah, like also summertime's a good time. Like summertime in general yeah, share it. Add on the, what's it called, Discord. I'm on Discord. Oh yeah, I'm Bregermann. Let me pop that up on the, oh perfect. Boom. OBS view. Oh no. I want this to be bigger. Whatever. That's big enough. But yeah, I'm Bregermann everywhere on the internet. Twitch, Discord, Speedrunning, Backloggery. Yeah. Thank you. Are we gonna finish this first level? I think so. Come on, stop it. Stop, Barney. Go. Ready? Woo! We finished the first level. Let's go! We're all in this together. All of us. Seriously, I think this might be the biggest run of Barney in history. Like, wow. Let's just... Wow, you're all on. Hi. Everybody wave to the VOD. Say hi, YouTube. Woo! God, you're all so wonderful. I'm so humbled and honored to be here. So many people. I didn't expect this many people. I'm blown away. Come on, Barney. Go, Barney, go. Go, Barney, go.
Hey, Jeremy, I have a question.
Yeah, what up, Doc?
So, can you talk us through your Jersey Devil speedrun and what you discovered your way, how much time it saved you,
Oh yeah, so
resources and stuff like that?
So Jersey Devil, I just sort of like ran through the game from memory. My first time was like a 3-hour, 20-minute or so. And then that world record was, I think, my 3rd or 4th run ever. And then, yeah, like, I ran through it, and then, like, people like you were like, hey, you know, you can skip this whole section. I'm like, what? And then, yeah, from there, just like looking around like in different sections, like Toxic Factory is a level with just like a bunch of sections you can skip. And then like we discovered like Bat Caves has like these air blowing vent things, and if you jump, it'll push you across this gap, which saves like 20 seconds of Bat Caves. And then for any percent, this speedrunner called Tigami, I think that's how you say his name, came along and was like, hey, you know you can jump over this gap, right? And we're like, whoa! So like a 2-hour run became a 5-minute run. But then the final boss is just straight up, like, the final phase is just straight up RNG. He throws bottles at you, green, purple, or red, and it's completely random. We haven't found any manipulation for it. If somebody finds a manipulation for that, I'd love them forever. And sometimes that could take like an extra minute or two, depending on how bad the RNG is. You get like a new bottle like once every like 1.5 seconds. Where are we at, Barney? Come on, go! Go, Barney, go. Go, Barney, go. Go, Barney, go. Oh! Booyah! Second level. 2 more levels. 2 more levels. Yeah, if anybody else has any other question. Woo! Come on down. Let's see what you want.
Yeah, so I just had a quick question. I've been considering getting speedrunning for a while, but the games I'm more passionate about are like Final Fantasy and Pokemon that have like super long speedruns. So how do you get over like the fatigue of longer runs like that?
Depending on the Final Fantasy game, like for instance, Final Fantasy X has a mod where you can remove the cutscenes, which cuts out a lot of time. And then like yeah, for longer runs, like some people cause like especially Pokemon's so much matchy, it's brutal on your hands. Like when you first started out, you could use like an auto, like just obviously you couldn't submit the runs because it would be a little more legal, but like you could use like an auto smasher or cut down on hand fatigue. And like especially starting out, you could just like do runs in segments at first. to build up that stamina. Because like, yeah, like depending on which Pokemon game you're running, like some of them are 4 or 5, but especially the newer ones are ridiculously long. Yeah, like I would start like especially from a time fatigue thing, I would start with seconds. Yeah. And then like Final Fantasy. Yeah, I love Final Fantasy. I love these Final Fantasy. I wept at the end of Final Fantasy X. I wept. When I say wept, I mean I wept.
My favorite is 3 for the DS.
Oh, I gotta have that. That's so much fun. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just. Oh my god, did we miss a split? Oh no, we missed a split. Oops. That's okay, we just skipped a split. Last split, let's see if we can get this world record. Thank you. You're all so wonderful. So yeah, last minute or so of this run, and then we're all gonna have to clear on out of here. Or stay, I don't know what's next, but time's up. Alright, last questions for Marks. Whoa, stop. Whoa, come on, Barty, go! Barty's going to finish up his run in exactly 1 minute. We allow it? Barty's going to finish somewhere between 9 minutes and 9 seconds and 9 minutes and 20 seconds. What? 1 minute. Yeah, so let's cheer him on. Let's cheer him on. Let's all score some touchdowns. Let's make it rainbow. I'm Bregermann. You are all fantastic. I really appreciate you all being here. Seriously, this is really, really, really fun here. I'll be around the con all day. I hope to have lots of fun all day. And I'm so excited to be at TooManyGames. Best convention on earth. Second to none. Go, go, go. No, stop talking to that girl. What are you doing, Barney? Leave her alone. No. Do not make a heart behind the cord with the girl. What are you doing? Go. 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 The cow has been milked. Gotta get my split finger ready. Oh, come on, no, no, no. All right, we're not getting world record. But can we get top 10? Oh my God, Barney. Barney, stop. Stop it. Why? Why? Why did you talk to that kid twice? What are we doing? Go! 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 Can he go? Oh! Oh! Wait! Touchdown! Woo! Woo! You are all so wonderful. I'm just going to take a shameless photograph with all of you. Stop it. I can't do this good. Boom. Thank you all. Good day and good night. And good morning. And good afternoon. And if I don't see you later, good night. Woo! All right.